a lot of exceptional undergrads that they usually have some sort of time, whether that be in the morning or in the afternoon or just some block of time where they're able to not change a lot of stuff. So, for example, like in my morning that I've tried is I'll wake up at like around the same time. I'll usually like go to the gym or do some work, and then I'll have whatever my first class is. And a lot of the times it's like a very predictable thing where I'm limiting my inputs. Do you have any sort of routines like that you do, or are you more of like a flow type person?
I feel like I am naturally a flow type person, and I'm trying to formate myself into becoming a little bit more structured. Um, and not structured in the fact that I want to sit down and do XYZ from here to here to here to here. It's like I want to have time blocks for things I want to accomplish. However, I go about accomplishing those is up to me, but I am dedicating this time to accomplish that. So, like, for example, I'm like Christian, so I read the Bible every morning, and that's something I do every day. And I have a little logger, and I keep track of it and everything else like that. And then like flipping totally from that to Duolingo, I do Duolingo. I'm on like 100 and something days, like 130 or something like that. And I'm just going to try to keep that as long as possible. And then day one or one day or something like that, it's a like journaling app. This is the one the Bible and Duolingo I can get every day, like without missing a step. The journaling is the one that messes me up the most, like that I'll miss, because in the morning I'm fine. I feel like besides the waking up, like once I wake up, I'm motivated to do those things because I have all the energy. But when it comes to the end of the day, like you're mentioning going to sleep at the same time, that's what messes me up the worst. I like last night, 10 o'clock's my bedtime. Like I should be out by 10 o'clock. I had an application due for a pitch competition. It's a big one where we get a lot of funding if we win. And then our school said they would pay for our travel and everything else like that for the team if we get accepted. And we didn't know about the pitch competition until yesterday morning, and I had to do my co-op and everything else. So I was up till like an 11 something before I turned it in. And then I stayed up because then I had to eat dinner really quick and try to. So yeah, my morning is becoming more structured. But getting that night, going to sleep at the same time is going to be. Once I get that structured, I'll be in a good spot. Yeah.
That's something I still struggle with. The morning, like you said, is easy for me at this point. And I think an interesting thing that I feel like you might be able to try, and it's something that I've tried and actually made me implement this new habit that I've been doing for this year so far, but it's worked really well. It's a tactic called like habit stacking. It's basically whenever you have like a couple of habits and then you like sandwich one of the ones in between there so that you basically don't forget to do the habit. So what I did was in the mornings, I'll meditate and journal. I've been doing that for like forever. At this point, probably like over 2 years, but I wanted to read for this new year. I wanted to read a book called The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. It's just like one page of an entry about some sort of like stoicism thing and philosophy a day and how you can apply it. I was like, this is interesting. I've heard of some other stuff. I want to go for this. And what I ended up doing was just tacking it on as like another thing that I can do in the mornings. So I'll do all the stuff I have to do, meditate, journal, and then I'll read the rest of this book. And I can't move on to the next task unless I read that one page of the book. And it's such a simple task that's one page that it's not too hard for me to overlook this stuff. So I think it could be good to try and read your Bible in the morning and then like do the journal app or whatever, and then do Duolingo. Do you have any sort of thing that you do to get yourself to start doing a habit or start doing something that you're working on for school or for your businesses?
And this is something new I've done only for like 2 weeks now, but it's been very, very, very helpful. So I have my time cut out throughout the day. Like I'm going to work from this time to this time. I'm going to work out from this time to this time and eat from this time to this time. And then I make a list. And this is something I heard. It was a consulting story, which I'll get into. I just make a list of like, if I get any free time, if I finish a task early, whatever it might be, I'm going in order in this list. And then every day, even if I don't accomplish things from the previous day, I'll rewrite it the next day to make me be like, I didn't accomplish that yesterday. in this order, I'm accomplishing these things. And if I don't accomplish it, I have to rewrite. Like, I hate wasting paper, even though I have a million notebooks. So it's like, man, I'm wasting more lines on my notebook to rewrite these things. I need to get them done. Like, small things like that is what I do. And then the consulting story. I mean, that really came, I can't remember. I'm going to butcher this so bad, but the concept is there, right? A consultant group went to the CEO because the board of directors like forced him to get a consultant to be more efficient. Because he was getting like 600K more a year. This is years ago, so that was like millions today. Anyways, and this consultant walked around, followed him, everything, took down notes, and it was supposed to be a week-long consultancy. And after like the fourth day, he's like, I have one piece of advice for you. I want you to write 6 things every morning, because you get called every day to put out like 3 or 4 fires, and then you have to figure out where you're going. I want you to write 6 things each day. And you can have a big list somewhere else, but 6 things you want to accomplish each day. And you just go right back in place. Every time you get called into a special meeting, to put out a fire, whatever it might be, you just go right back in order. And we're not going to charge you for these, because I'm cutting it short. I'm not going to charge you for these days. In a month from now, you do this. I want you to write me a check for how much you think that advice was worth. He's like, this is dumb. You followed me and you think get out. I'm not paying you. Like, but his board of advisors made him do this listing because they said, do it. And then he got a check in the mail for his like yearly salary. So like, it was a lot. It was worth a lot. The most simple thing made him so much more productive. Like, just staying in order, and having a list of things to do. It's like, and that's what I try to do. Is I make a list every day and I try to, accomplish whatever I can.
I'd find myself doing sometimes is write down all the stuff that I'd want to do or whatever, and then I would miss certain things. But I think it goes back to the chart that we're going to throw in right over here that you were showing me the other day, which is like figuring out what would be like the highest leverage tasks that you can do, or the higher leverage ones. And if you do those ones and you only write down like the 6 things in order of how you're going to do them, the most important tasks that you can do, I feel like that's just going to increase your productivity and your efficiency, because there's no sort of like, what am I going to do? It's like, just go back to the list. And then I really liked I have to keep writing the same thing down if I haven't done it, because that's something for me where if I haven't done something, there's one thing to just kind of like scratch it off anyways or something and be like, yeah, who cares? But if you have to like manually write the thing down, you're going to get so annoyed of having to write down the exact same thing. It's like, it probably would just take less effort at this point to just do the actual task and not have to worry about writing it down every single day.